Your personality is said to be made up of characteristics, patterns of thoughts, feelings, and behaviors that makes a person unique. Now, it is said that our personality is said to evolve throughout our life, but much of our personality is determined by our very early childhood experiences. How we are raised, and what things we encounter, the happy and the sad moments, our friends, education, although our genes play a factor into our personality also. Now, I won't go into the factors of genes and environment when it comes to our personality, because solely today I just want to talk about the big 5 personality traits. Let's say if someone asks you to describe your personality into various traits, you would come up with so many numbers, hundreds of them. Joyful, stressed, angry, calm. You are just way too complex. Human beings are. That's why psychologists today have conducted the big 5 personality traits. Now, the big 5 personality traits are extroversion, agreeableness, conscientiousness, openness to experience, and neuroticism. Each trait has its own subdivision, meaning the opposite. For example, agreeableness would be disagreeable. People in openness to experience would be people low in openness to experience. If you're extroverted, then you would be introverted, and so on. Now, if you guys are wondering how you can find your personality traits, where you match up on the scale, there are 2 websites that I would highly recommend to check this out. Now, I'll be leaving the link in the descriptions for both of them. The first one, Truity, is free and good. I've used it before. The second one is called Understand Myself. Now, this uses a bit more of a sophisticated system, algorithms and questions. The answers and the questions are just a bit more rigorous. I like both of them. The second one you do have to pay for though. It's $9.95 American dollars and $14.25 Australian dollars. I highly recommend using the second one, the Understand Myself one, because 2 reasons. One, it was conducted in a lab by one of my favorite psychologists, by him and his colleagues, Jordan Peterson. And second of all, like I said before, it uses a bit more of a sophisticated system, the questions are a bit more intricate, and the answers that you get are a bit more accurate. Now, if you can't afford the second one, it's fine, you don't have to pay for it. Use the Truity one. Now, you'd be either ranking high, in the middle, or in low in each personality trait. For example, if you'd be very high in extroversion, or somewhere in the middle of extroversion, or very low in extroversion, that's how you usually get marked in. Now, in the test, you are usually asked scenario-based questions, agree or disagree questions, subjective questions that you wouldn't really find in a general test. It's important to answer these questions with utmost honesty. Make sure you're not tired, make sure you're not feeling sad that day. These tests are designed in a way that you should only do them once for at least a massive amount of time. Take a gap in the middle, Like, I wouldn't recommend doing the test once and doing it again straight away. I'd probably do the test once, take like a 6-month gap at least, even more sometimes, then do the test again. The only reason this is because if you do the test the second time, now you know the questions. Your answers will be a bit more of a biased answers, and the test results won't be accurate. Let's talk about the traits quickly. Extroversion. Now, extroversion is associated with sociability, assertiveness, and excitedness. People who are high in extroversion get energy from social environments. They like meeting new people. They are the life of the party. They are highly energized by social contact and they crave it. They enjoy telling jokes. They don't mind having intimate or very open discussed conversations, even philosophical questions and discussions they love. They have typical positive memories of the past and very high self-esteem. The opposite for that would be introverts. They get drained from too much social contact. Talking to too many people just depletes their energy. They love being alone. They don't mind not talking to anyone at the party, They just like being in their own bubble, and that's fine. That's who they are. Second trait, agreeableness. This trait is associated with people who are warm, friendly, and compassionate. Agreeable people tend to care more about others and put their needs towards other people before themselves. These people are more cooperative than competitive. Now, if you are disagreeable, then you are more competitive than cooperative. These people are generally more straightforward and tend to stand up for themselves. Also, less concerned about the opinion of others, and they don't mind disturbing the rhythm of harmony in a social environment just to get their point across. The third trait, conscientiousness. Now, conscientious is the trait of being orderly, careful, and diligent with a lot of things they do. These people like rules, structures, and routines. They are usually hard-working people who are super perfectionists and like things to be goal-orientated. You know, they want to work towards their goals and they do achieve them. They like everything neat and tidy, and nothing really stops them from achieving their goals. Unconscientious, these people are often neglectful in a lot of things. You know, they're not the cleanest and the most tidiest. They justify excuses for their failures. They're very spontaneous also in a social environment. Fourth trait, openness to experience. Now, this trait showcases how open an individual is to new experiences, ideas, and conversations. A person with high level of openness to experience tends to enjoy to try new things, ideas, abstract ideas, philosophical discussions also. They tend to experiment with new ideas and try new things, always looking to upskill their abilities. They love movies, art, poetry, books, plays. Now, again, individuals who are very low in openness, they would rather not try new things. These people are usually very conservative. They don't like new ideas that might make them uncomfortable. The final trait is neuroticism. Neuroticism is a trait associated with negative emotion, negative thinking, anxiety, depression, the likelihood for you to experience negative emotions. If you're very high in neuroticism, you will, ponder about the past, think about the present, get lost in the present, and worry about the future also. A person who is very low in neuroticism is more tranquil, more calmer. They're not really stuck in the past that much. They don't worry too much about the future. They're more living in the present. What's interesting is that you can determine a lot of things from personality traits. You can determine what career or what political party someone would choose. Talking about careers, a person who's very high in extroversion, they would make a great salesman. If you're very low in agreeableness, then you'd be probably, more likely to join the army, become a scientist, or a critic. Many modern day psychologists say that your personality is fixed and stable. However, people can somehow still develop traits that contradict their original personality type. Now, this can seem a bit confusing. I know I just said that you can't change your personality, but you can still contradict it from time to time. Now, 3 years ago, I went on a trip by myself to Europe for 3 months. What happened there was very interesting because before going there, I was still very much an introvert. Coming back, I had completely changed my personality trait. But when I got to Europe, I was put in a position where if I didn't chat or socialize with people, I would just not make any friends or have a good time. I did not want to have a good time while traveling. I mean, come on, that's the whole point of traveling, right? You want to make friends, you want to party, you want to have fun. That itself made me come out of my comfort zone. My introvert was slowly dying off and my extroversion part was coming out. Now, to this day, I would say I'm more of an extrovert than introvert, but I still have that innate introvert personality that I was born with. And I think I'll always have that because to this day, I still get nervous when it comes to public speaking. I still get nervous in those situations. Doing the personality trait test, you can see what aspects of personality you want to improve. If you're very low in conscientiousness and you want to become super high in conscientiousness, start becoming a bit more goal-orientated. Start becoming punctual on time whenever you're meeting your friends or your spouse or your girlfriend, whatever it is. You don't always have to be super messy. If you're very low in extroversion and you want to increase that, put yourself in an uncomfortable position. Talk to people out there. Put yourself in a challenging environment where you can make new friends, have great conversations, and who knows where that can lead to. Highly recommend that when you're doing the test, you don't treat it as a normal test. You shouldn't see it as getting a high mark in every single trait. It's a very rare occurrence to be that. If you're low in something, that doesn't mean it's a negative thing. It's just who you are. And if you don't want to improve that trait, that's fine. It's completely up to you. If you're low in conscientiousness and you don't mind being low in conscientiousness, that's fine. Don't treat this as a test like, I want to score in high in everything. It's a completely different kind of test. It just gives you a visual representation of what kind of person you are. So yeah. Oh, it's super cold in Melbourne. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys. For anyone who's wondering what I got in my personality traits test, well, I was super low in agreeableness, super low in conscientiousness, super high in extroversion and openness to experience, and in the middle in neuroticism. I used the second website that I mentioned earlier in the video, the Understand Myself one, the paid one. Again, if you can't use that, if you don't want to pay, use the first one. The Truity one is good as well. Please comment below what you guys get if you guys do the test. I really urge you guys to do the test and see what you guys can get. Now, if you really want to contradict your personality trait and you want to start that journey, try new things, put yourself in uncomfortable positions, and do things that you would never do before. Hey guys, After the Credits is a channel that allows you to see things from a different perspective. By predominantly showcasing informative vlogs, I touch aspects in life such as philosophy, psychology, sociology, culture, art, mental health, physical health, an array of aspects. My main goal is that you learn something new after watching any of my videos. So show some support guys, hit that subscribe button, make sure to like my videos, and turn that notification bell on so every time I upload a video, you guys get it straight away, and it's a win-win situation, right? Thank you guys.